Streaming on, nice. Alright, we're a couple minutes early, but I'm just setting things up right now. So, the mic should be on, should be good. Hopefully it's not too under the water sounding. Let's see, it's the art challenge. Let me link to this other thing here real quick. All right. I don't know why it started and stopped there, but we are going to set up here in just a second here. Let's see. I have to switch over to this. Check. Am I still on here? Is there an echo? Let's turn that one off. Should be good. Alright. Let me get the chat going. That should do. Alright. Now I just have to get the iPad up and running. Hopefully it works. There we go. Worked the first time. Check that out. Check that out. Alright. So I think we're set up. It's past 8, so we're going to start. So, first of all, cheers, guys. Got my glass of poor wine, poor man's wine. And I also have a challenge from the very elegant sounding Vati Vidya. He's a Souls-like gaming type expert. He talks about a lot of esoteric kind of story and gameplay analysis videos. Anyway, the new game from the Souls creators, the great From Software guys, have their new game coming out soon called Sekiro. And Sekiro is like a ninja type dude with a prosthetic arm. And the prosthetic arm is made out of like pretty much like twine and stuff. You can see right here. Let me move it into view. This is his video with the main artwork there. But yeah, he's got this art challenge where we use the character from the game and we will let me make this small, that way I can see it still. Probably need to use reference anyway, so I'm going to keep that somewhere. And then, anyway, where was I? So the whole challenge is to make this prosthetic arm have a specific function that is not included in the game, but could be, you know. Cancel out of that. Anyway, so in the game there is attachments. There's like an axe attachment, there's like a grappling attachment. Anyway, we're going to make a weapon attachment. Now all I have to do here is download the template onto my computer here. I need this one and this one. So I'm going to send these over real quick to my iPad. It should be simple. There we go. There's one. There's the other. We're just going to go here. Maybe I'll just pull it up from here. Nope, wrong one. Let's pull up. Add kind of both of them in here in different layers. So this. Good. And then separately we'll add this next one. No, wrong one. This one. Alright. Okay, so these are the two images provided. This one's pretty useful right here. This is a pretty useful type of setup to see like how it all works. And obviously so is this, because you get to see the arm in different views. His setup here is interesting. How he's kind of, I don't know if he drew this or he pulled this from an image and traced it or something. It looks pretty good. It's not bad to work with. This side view is really helpful though. This is how I'm going to really figure things out with this one first. But I'll need this to also, these two side views to help. So, let's see here. We're going to start here in a second. Let's see. I should have a good amount of battery life. I want to check. 12%? It's pretty low. So, well, I'm going to charge this thing, my pen, as I talk about the challenge and think about the challenge, and then we'll be writing down ideas about the challenge, because there's kind of a lot to think about before we get to work. And I've got some ideas already. I was hoping Jedi Joshua would be on, because he's the idea man. He's always got plenty of unique and plausible ideas. So, where the hell is my charger? There it is. I just need this little tiny attachment. No. So I'm going to let the pen charge as I talk about this. You can go in here and think about it. So we can even go into, what could we go into? Because we could write it out. Yeah, besides notes, I thought there was another note-taking thing in here. Thought there was. Right, whatever, we'll talk about it and I'll write it on another sheet of paper. Okay, so the whole idea is there's, like I said, like a few different prosthetic arm attachments already in the game that we know about. Like some of them are like shuriken, one's like an axe that breaks guard, one's a thing that makes like a shield with one of those fans, like a Asian type fan that opens up but it becomes like a shield. There's one that provides him like with a fire-based, you know, it's not magic, but he makes his sword like fiery with it. And then, like I said, a grappling hook that works pretty well. It's like a big part of the game is grappling around. Anyway, I've got some ideas for my makeshift one, and I hope everybody jumps along and jumps on this challenge just like I have. I'll have the link to the video for Vati's like announcement video, and it'll tell you the rules and deadlines and the prizes. He's giving out a good amount of stuff for this, so it would be really cool to place in this and just be a part of it. It'd be cool. I'm excited about the game. I'm a huge Bloodborne fan. Not really a Souls fan, but Bloodborne got me so good. So I'm hoping Sekiro, that sounds way better pronouncing it that way, is a great game. I'm sure it is. But here we go. So my ideas are, one, first and foremost, you can see on the screen, I need a name. I need the main action and then a follow-up action. It doesn't have to necessarily be attack, because you'll see in a second. So my first idea is like smoke bomb. Obviously, ninjas, I haven't seen it yet, but like smoke bomb style stuff. So I'm thinking, I'll show you, but I'm thinking like an old school Zelda type bomb, like round, perfectly round with a fuse. It kind of fits in with the feudal kind of Japan kind of feel. Anyway, so it's smoke bomb. I'm just going to say bomb. Actually, it needs to be smoke, because I'm sure there is bombs as well. Description, we can just say, as far as I want it to look like, it's going to be something like I said, like a spherical cast with filled with gunpowder and or TNT maybe. I don't know what, something like that. I don't know what is TNT anyway. I don't even know. Anyway, it's gunpowder, TNT, and a fuse used to escape stun and there's like a crit hit, like a critical hit, that I think this thing could automatically get if you're able to get in the right position maybe. And I think that'll be the secondary. So I think R1, the main attack would be throwing it. Throw bomb, and then R2 is pretty much the stealth attack, pretty much. And then we can go about the visuals. I have kind of like a visual that I've already kind of thought about a little bit on this one. This is the first and most blatant idea. I feel like it's the first thing everyone's going to think of. That's just me. Maybe not. Maybe some people go totally different. Now, research-wise, we can look up like kind of infamous feudal weapons. And let's see what comes up. This will give us some ideas. Alright, so there's the kama, that's a sickle. Kusarigama is kind of like a mini kama with like a chain, right? I believe. Let's see. All right. There's like a mace. Let's see this bomb. There we go. That's pretty much it. It's like a spherical bomb. There's a shuriken. This is kunai. I'm pretty sure I've seen kunai before. Right. Okay, I think we're almost charged up. I think we've got to be right. And then there is things like the Sai. What's that other thing? Huh. The lady's choice. The Nagina. That's like a big, it's like a staff with a curved, probably blade at the end. Claws for climbing. Some interesting stuff here. I think like the climbing claws, the bomb, obviously the yo, what's up, Jedi? What was the last one? Climbing bomb. I feel like there's one more that seemed interesting. It's here somewhere. Anyway, I'm working on a design challenge right up your alley. It's for the game coming out, Sekiro, by the guys who made Bloodborne and Souls. Dark Souls, Demon Souls. Anyway, this guy, Vati Vidya, is doing an art challenge he's sponsoring. And there's prizes and a whole lot of other things going along with it. So the whole concept is to design an attachment for this guy's prosthetic arm. So this prosthetic arm he gives out, if you go to his video, I got it linked in the comments or in the description. This and another, this and this he provides. There's another couple images he provides just to help you out. But this is the prosthetic arm in the game, and there's different prosthetic attachments that are actually in the game, and our job is to design the one that's not in the game but could be in the game, and then do some art. So I plan on at least spending a few days on stream doing this because I think it's a good opportunity for you, me, everyone watching to jump on this opportunity to draw, maybe get your name out there a little bit. Anyway, got my pen charged up. Now, should be able to draw. Good. Let me get some music going. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's see. Put on some of this. Nice, very cool. Have fun doing that. This thing's not due till a while. I think he's given us until March, mid-March. So no rush on this one, but I do. There's a prize if you get in a design early. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of that. So my first design I'm thinking about is, like I said, a bomb. So just for this, I'm going to write it in here. Actually, it's like a smoke bomb. And then, what's the name for it? There is a name. I saw it in here. There it is. Poro. Ku. Via. Okay. So, pretty much as it sounds, I think that's what it is. Oh no, this is not the same one. Maybe I should erase that. It's not. I'm thinking of a smoke bomb. This is like a normal bomb that has like shards of metal in it. Not sure what the smoke bomb is called. So what I wrote down is spherical. I don't know what caused the smoke. I'm not really sure. I think that's secondary to figuring out what it looks like, so I'm just going to probably do that afterwards. But yeah, it's a that used for escaping attacks and triggering critical hits. For now, this is my basic idea. You should do this design project. They're such a good opportunity. And he's got some awesome prizes. I think first place is at 400. Obviously, it goes down. Third place is what? Let's see. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So fourth place gets 100, and then everything after that, he's got a bunch of game codes, I think. All right. So the main attack is throwing the bomb. And then the secondary is maneuver for crit attack. Okay. So now, like, the fun part is designing it. I'm going to look at this 3/4 view. It gives me a good idea of how things work. I think so for underneath, I'm going to give myself another layer here. I'm just going to use light blue or something. I'm just going to draw in what I think the perspective is. It should be pretty isometric. Let's see. Just trying to see this grid. Should be pretty isometric, so I'm just going to try to draw them straight. And then I'll lower the opacity on this line. Dude, creating a universe is bold. I like it. More power to you, man. Alright. So with that there, this is the idea. So here's the prosthetic arm. I feel like I don't know how everything really works. This thing twists and he's able to pull fingers. Who knows how this thing works really. It works with magic somehow. It must. Okay. The mechanism. Let me look at this other drawing real quick. Here makes it a little bit easier to tell. I know this thing in the middle twists quite a bit. I'm going to look at this old video. You almost have to watch the video to figure this out. But I know this thing twists, for sure. I think that's the mechanism that we need to have. I think I'm just going to draw some basic lines and then figure it out as I go. Like I said, I might have to watch these videos. In fact, I'll pull up one of them while I start. And so all we know is this thing in the middle twists quite a bit. This little rod in the middle here. Okay. So here's the idea. think these bombs will be coming on underneath. So here's his palms facing up here, right? So let's see. So yeah, these are just the basic lines. Nothing crazy, just trying to figure out what it should look like. I'm trying to figure out the attachments that need to be there. This one's a little big. Same with that. Maybe they're both a little big. Let's do this. Then they'll erase away. Dude, I'm same. Glad you made it as well, man. I know your name is Humongous Artist Army. We're here. Mechaverse Manga Comic Book. It's such a crazy long name. You got to give me another name to call you, man, because I can't just say that every time I need your name. All right, so this design will be pretty cool. So essentially, I want this like chute and like a chamber. So one needs to be a chamber. This is his whole forearm, right? From like here over. So let's just draw a cylinder here. And in space, it should have a, so in this case, this is the minor axis going this way. So when you draw an ellipse, and the minor axis divides it essentially through it, like the axle, if you're drawing a cylinder, it would be like that. Same thing here. So I'm going to draw it there. And the minor axis, see how it divides the ellipse perfectly here? That's what you want. I probably should pull up. Oh yeah, nice. Mechaverse. I like it. I should have came up with that. It's like one of the most keywordy words in your segment there. Do it, Jedi. I would definitely suggest. Yeah, if you jump on ArtStation, I'm actually technically I'm on DeviantArt too. I haven't moved any of my work out of there in a long time. Probably a lot of old work there. But ArtStation, I'm there currently. So if you jump on there, we'll follow each other. I'm down. All right. So I can answer that question whenever, Mechaverse, about how much I charge for projects. Okay. Just want to get one of these ideas out here. So I want the base, which is the cylinder, the bracket down here probably, I want all this to be here. I'm going to draw through because you always should draw through. That's rule number 1 in art school, guys. Alright. It's kind of clunky, and I guess that's one of the reasons why I should draw through in the beginning. Okay, so probably the same thing. We'll have some sort of bracket down here that attaches to it. Maybe you attach it with here. Same thing that way. Oh, nice. Okay, that makes sense for sure. How's it going? I guess it's an ongoing one. It's not like it's not one where there's like a clear ending. Um, that's good for constantly doing work, which is nice. Yeah, having any luck with it? You know, getting any feedback out there? I'm cool with you guys posting whatever, you know, if you want to promote anything you want on here. Just be nice about it, you know. But yeah, no worries about zero art background. That's kind of how things start. It's tough because it's a little bit of a mixed bag when you first start out. Like even if you do have some art background, it's hard to get people to pay attention long term without your work being like super pristine, right? So it's a journey, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna bang out pages, you're gonna probably build some fans because a lot of people just like seeing people make stuff. Not everybody can do it, so applause for even starting and doing stuff. Just waking up and making things. You're already you know, you're probably pretty much better than most of the people out there already. So, you know, just because of the willpower to do it. Okay, I don't know if there's going to be a strut down here or not. I'm just going to draw a couple lines that go down this way. It's going to look too square when I do it like that. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but I want this as a base. So what I mean is I'm going to do another layer, and I'm going to just make different iterations of what I have already. Okay, but before I do that, I want this to be kind of a little more accurate. All right. Yep, it's tough. It's tough to, you know, it's a journey, and the whole idea here is to enjoy what you do no matter what, because then it's like your armor at that point. You just don't, since you don't need anyone to necessarily validate it, you're going to do it. If you're going to get big, you're going to do it. If no one notices you, if you're going to do it anyway, you're free to make something awesome, and then eventually they come. But yeah, dude, I didn't do that. I don't know how old you are or how much you really, you know, get out of it. But if you're enjoying it, that's huge. 18 pages is it's a journey just doing those. You know, it's a lot of hard work, I'm sure. But at the same time, you enjoy it, so it probably flies by. Flies by when you're having fun with it. All right, so with this, like the bone up here, you can see is a little thicker. So I'm trying to mold to that. So I just want to like re-engineer a little bit of how this is coupling together. Something like that. Okay. That's good enough for a base. I'm not needing it to be more than that. Okay, so from this point on, we're going to use that as a base. We're going to go on top. Or we can do it this way. We can just duplicate it. That's a better idea. Let's duplicate it and then work with this one. Then we can erase stuff we don't want. So this is the design process. It's iterative. And we're working with this just to get the idea, and then we're going to do our own illustration of it. We're just doing this because we want to stay accurate. Okay. "32? Nice. I'm just about that age too. I'm 31. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Kudos to you. Glad you're... Most people, believe it or not, are like not as bold as you are. They're afraid of getting negative feedback so much they don't do it at all. Or they just don't have the vision or drive to do it at all. Which, you know, not everybody's made for this, but I think a lot of people are just scared. Scared of bad feedback. Okay, so I drew in like some wireframes to kind of figure out what's going on here. So first and foremost, the bombs. I'm figuring they fit in the palm of his hand, so like they have to be at least this size, right? So probably something like that. Alright, we'll just draw them in here like that. Then we'll draw over top. Well, I learned from everyone, you know, you can pick things up no matter where you are. I'm glad you're willing to learn. Like I said, that's another step. It's tough. Well, what that was freaked out on me. Boxing, nice. I did a little bit of Muay Thai for a little bit, and then I kind of quit because I lost time drawing. And maybe I'll go back one day, because I did enjoy it. It was challenging, and they push you hard if you're at a good gym anyway. What the hell? Why is it freaking out of me over there? Alright. Cool. So, these are the basics of the bombs here. That last one's a little sketchy. Alright. All those are overlapping, so we'll get this one a little overlap. Okay. This one probably should be here. Alright. So the idea is they slide out, you know. I don't know if they're going to be like that, so close together, but the whole idea is they slide out. And he'll have a mechanism that pushes them somehow. So maybe we'll do it this way, where there's a gap. And this one's like in the chamber. You know, there needs to be a chamber. Okay. And then this thing at the bottom here, this thing that twists, has like a lever that comes up and blocks. I'm using Procreate on iPad right now. Any ideas for the universe? Well, depends on what kind of universe you mean. Is it like a social universe, like say the Marvel universe, or is it like a real universe? Like you want me to give you ideas for galaxies? Okay. I'm just going to make this thing less round just to make it seem like it's different. Okay. Alright, so the idea is this thing comes out. Let's see here. Needs to go to his palm, right? Kind of also needs to be flexible. Okay. So yep, it's damn good for that. I mean, it's pretty cheap. It's like 20 bucks for Procreate if you got an iPad. But if you don't, go with Mega Studio, Clip Studio now. It's really cheap, probably like 60 bucks, something like that. But yeah, I would say I would give Clip Studio a try because it's pretty much like Photoshop, in some ways better, that sort of thing. Sci-fi-ish with a fantasy twist, maybe something with dragons on another planet. Nice, 10 bucks for Procreate. Very cool. I forgot, I bought it before I was even using it. I bought it like many, many years before I used it. Alright, so this thing probably could fall to here. An imaginary bomb there. There's got to be some sort of ignition. I'm thinking there's like a mechanism here. Like that strikes like a flint. That's what I'm thinking. Not exactly sure how that'll work. Okay. Alright. It's an interesting idea. I don't mind it. Interesting. How do you use grids? Any ideas for the... Well, if you're going with that kind of theme, I personally like, the classic fantasy settings. Make sure there's like a swamp, like a foggy swamp. I feel like swamps are super cool areas. And then you need giant creatures in the swamp somehow. How do I use grids? So I've got several videos, and actually if you go to howtodrawcomics.net, I have tutorials there. I have 3 different tutorials on 1-point perspective, there's a 2-point and a 3-point, and there's also one how to place figures in perspective. That kind of teaches you how to do it, but pretty much you're making a grid is making lines for each direction of 3D space. So there's, you want to call that Y or Z. I'd probably go Y. Z is usually the one that points towards you, and then the x-axis. And these are just axes. You can call them whatever you want, but as you can see, it makes a cube if you draw in the lines for it. Right, so that's essentially what you're doing. You're drawing. You can see my lines kind of connect here. That's one axis, and then this is another one, and then there's one that goes up. So you draw in your axes based on vanishing points, and this one I'm kind of cheating. So in this one I'm just drawing straight lines going in parallel in one direction. That's one axis, and then the other axis, right? And then I draw my verticals, and they're all at this point what we call isometric, which means they don't converge into a vanishing point. So, and then from there, all you use those grids by, say I'm drawing this hoop thing here. Here's the connection point of one end. Here's the connection point of another. And that's, you know that because it's all on the same axis. So if we know it's in a straight line, and that's how it's designed, then we know one's here, one's there. And then obviously making the hoop action work in the right direction is the next thing. But knowing where things line up and measuring it out is half the battle. And then the rest comes with time. So that's why you draw through, though. So you can see on the other side I can draw the other half of this connection, and you can kind of visualize it visually, instead of imagining it. But that's how you got to draw as much as you can. That way you don't leave anything to guesswork. Okay, so far this is our attachment. Looks like a pinball machine on an arm. Alright. I think I just, see it as like just a cage wireframe. It's like supposed to be kind of feudalish. So and then I'm sure there's one on the other side right here. And then from here to here, we know how it curves. And maybe we can do like X's or something. yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. It's just a, you know, like I said, go to howtodrawcomics.net. It's a free tutorial. And I've got several over there. The guys over there, we collaborate quite a bit. I'm actually doing a new tutorial for them. That's a really big one. It'll be up there soon enough. Alright, so we're going to do another X. Maybe down here. Alright. Dude, that's the book to learn if you want to learn perspective. Glad you got that book. It's, Dude, Robertson is the bomb. It is the way to learn how to draw precisely. That's the best way to describe that method. Okay. So there's like another X. Maybe I do like... I'm not really sure what to put near it or in it. But I'm sure maybe I can do like interesting designs or something like that. Trying to figure out what cool lines would work. Anyway, this will be fine because I think this will trigger a spark at the end here, and then it comes out. So this should have a hinge. I like that design, it's pretty cool. I can do this angle too because it's underneath. And so the x-axis is here, so that's how you draw the looks like it's about the same size, maybe a little bigger. Yeah, it's you're amazed. You're gonna get better. Don't you worry about that. It'll take you looking back on it to really see it, but it'll happen slowly but surely. Let's see. I really don't like that bracket down here. That's really on the top, but I'm going to go with something similar for right now. Then we'll probably change it up here. I didn't draw a grid on this one, but I should have. Totally can still do that. It's not hard to go back. So in here, in this case, would be, you can see the lines would have to go along the arm. And then you can see here, see this little part, you can tell that it's going this way. And then obviously up and down. So that just helps me visualize where things are. Yeah, you know me. That's a good point. Very good point. Dude, you can pick up names real quick if you want. If you want names that to respect and to look into, to learn from, you know, in the world of comics, there's plenty of old school guys that you probably should look into. There's a lot of new school guys too that you probably should look into as well. But alright, so with this grid in here, I can kind of tell more or less how these circles should look. Makes it way easier. Okay. Alright, this bomb. Something about there. Doors kind of closing a little bit. Probably should have a spring or something. That door's funky. Trying to figure out why here. Okay. Let's go from here over. Here, here. Dude, that's awesome. I am very honored. The teaching thing's a little bit new because, like I said, I've done a few tutorials, and I'm, you know, never been a. Well, actually, technically, I was a substitute teacher at some point. Taught kind of kids art for a little bit, Um, but nothing more than that. Okay. Cut that short a little bit. Oh, Jedi, that's awesome. Appreciate it, man. Um, good to know I'm influencing in some decent way. Alright, so this thing would probably go here. I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. And then this thing would come this way. Cool. Alright, the idea is to win this contest, guys. I don't know if this design is going to win, but one of them will do well. I don't know which one. But that's the whole point of concept art. It's like kind of figure things out as you go, and you don't know until the end, really, how things are going to shape up. I'm just doing another view just in case, you know. So I'm not sure if I'm really going to need it. That seems about right. Maybe a little wider like I had it. I don't know. Okay. Alright, so here, and then it's going to be over here, so same thing. Not worried too much with accuracy here, more on just blocking it in. Good. I'm glad I can help. Some way. Okay. Rule of thirds here. You guys want to know something interesting? Did you know there's a golden ratio? I'm not sure if you know there's a golden ratio, but that ratio is the rule of thirds. It's more or less around the third mark of something, and that's kind of the beauty ratio. That's why they call it the golden one. But in Asian countries like Japan, the golden ratio is not accepted. They've got another ratio called the silver ratio, which is not really around thirds. It was around more square. Like thirds would mean, like, if you had your ratio would be somewhere like this, like there's a third, so that would be like the beauty ratio here, and then you could continue chopping it down, and anywhere you measure it, so you can measure this half, this should be a third of this, it's one whole, and this is a third, which should be more like this then. That's your beauty then. But anyway, point is, the silver ratio is more square. It's more 3:4 rather than widescreen, pretty much, you know? Anyway, I didn't know that before, so I may incorporate the silver ratio into this design. Let's see what we got here. What are you saying? LMS, the Kill Book of Bounty Hunter, is dope. I've not read it. Dude, 6 hours a day is a long time. And you technically can do it. You just have to throw it in there when no one else, you know, if you want to draw more, throw it in during, say, your ride to and from school, maybe. Or maybe from at lunchtime. I used to draw on lunch. Yeah, it's tough. You know, you have to kind of sacrifice other things. You know, time to chill and relax for it, or you can, you know, find other ways like wait till the weekend or look up the LMS. What's LMS? What does it stand for? I'll look it up. Let's see. $2 a page. Now, I'd say in terms of professional work, that's really quick. Guys doing pro pages will spend many hours, maybe 10. Sometimes I spend 14, 15 hours on a page. Doesn't mean your pages are less than, but you're not going to get the same kind of quality you can in that amount of time. As long as you realize that, the goal for you probably right now is finding the fundamentals, like you said, working with the grid, working with trying to learn anatomy. Get the book that Jedi just got. It's called How to Draw by Scott Robertson. That'll help you. Oh, Last Man Standing. Okay. I'll see what it looks like.